Speaking about myself, I'm Anil. I'm a DTSC developer, technical support engineer. And on my daily work, I support our partners who are integrating with our HUAWEI SDKs and kits in their apps when they're migrating from the Google ecosystem they already have. And coming to the HUAWEI ecosystem, they need to do some changes in their SDKs. So I'm helping them with such kind of integrations. You can find me on the LinkedIn. Send me a request. I will have many friends from this event. Yeah. So this was just a quote that I would like to say, like, to keep the body in good health is duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep the mind strong and clear. So for our mind, being our mind strong and clear, it's our duty to keep our health, good health. So some background, as the topic was given, work from home. So I think the health kit fits very perfectly in that. I think you already have decided with some use cases. So I thought the health kit would be a perfect fit for it. The contents that I'll be describing, and also I did this presentation in a meetup group. So if you were not there, this would be helpful. If you were there, then it's just some repetition. Here I will explain about mHealth and health APIs and some a general overview about HUAWEI Health Kit. Also about the awareness kit and some practical use cases and some sample codes. And here I have just listed out the sample codes, but when you start developing the applications, I can help you with developing and using those sample codes in your application. So feel free to ask me if you need any help doing the codes. So mHealth. So right now nowadays, what we see is our health data and everything is just being shared using the health platforms, and our health is being monitored with using lots of devices. And smartphones are the ones that we mostly use, and these devices are getting a lot of data using different sensors. And also nowadays we have smart watches. They are also a hub for putting on sensors and getting the health data. And other wearables are also present in the market that you can use of, where it gets a lot of health data. With this smart devices, there's a huge amount of data, and this amount of data cannot be it's very difficult to use those data by a developer. You will waste a lot of time filtering out the data and making efficient use out of those data. So there has to be a platform which gets this data and gives you some efficient, provides you the data in an efficient way. So for that reason, there are big industries like Google, Apple, Samsung, and even HUAWEI, and also lots of others has provided this kind of data platform for you to use those data. Yeah, you can use any data platform. It doesn't mean that HUAWEI Health Kit is very unique. It is one of the health data platform. You can use this to make your application, getting the information about the user's health and how to use it for the user's purpose. As I said, it's just another data platform. For consumers, it provides the services using the HUAWEI Health app. If you don't know, it's an app that gives you the service, the healthcare, workout guidance, and other stuffs in the app. And for developers, it's an open data platform where you can use the SDKs and APIs to get the data and make an application. This is like the overview diagram of the HUAWEI Health Kit. This is the HUAWEI Health Kit that sits in between. So from the bottom here, you see all the hardware devices from where all the data are collected, and it's transferred to HUAWEI Health Kit using the HUAWEI Health app. That's the interface that sits in between hardware devices and Health Kit. And on the top, the developers can use those data by using different APIs to make web services or mobile apps. So when we talk about data, we should be aware of the data security and privacy. So all the data that flow within the HUAWEI ecosystem is tightly managed. The security is taken care of. And an application has to go through a lot of permissions to get to be able to use these SDKs and APIs, and even the developers need to get these permissions. Also, the developers need to ask the users for the permission to get the data if the user is willing to share the data to the developers for their app. So all these data types are also managed in an isolated way. So if you want to share your height data, you can share it, but if you don't want to share your gender or age or any kind of other data, you don't share it. So that freedom is given to the user, which makes make it easy for the users to select or filter the data. And all the data is follows the rules by the GDPR. So you don't have to worry, or users don't have to worry about the data. So basic concept about HealthKit. These are just the basic terms that are used in HealthKit. The first thing is data type. So data type is the basic thing you download or upload for using the HealthKit. And HUAWEI HealthKit provides the standard definition for those data types. So it's easy for you to understand what data you are getting and what data you are uploading. You want to upload in the platform. And data controller is a source which is used to collect this data, and a unique ID is generated whenever you are trying to upload the data. A unique ID is generated so that you know, or HealthKit knows where this data comes from, and this is responsible for uploading your data and getting your data. And data sampling point is making the sampling points of the data for a specific time period. For this specific time period, like for 5 minutes, what activity you did, or what is the data that the sensors got, or any of the sensor got from the devices. That's the data sampling point. And a data set for controlling the sampling point from a specific data controller. That's like a sample of huge collection of, or the container of the data sampling points. And activity records, whenever you perform some activities such as like walking or running. So these activity records keep tracks of all the data, like lots of data, like what's the speed of running, how many steps have you taken, what is the time that you run. This kind of data is collected using the activity records, and health records collects your health data, such as your blood level, blood oxygen level, or your stress level, or other things. Yeah, these are the simple terms you will get to know when you develop an application, because the classes that you will be using are very similar to this. So you will get the more detailed understanding of what these terms are when you are developing an application. HUAWEI HealthKit provides two capabilities. First, we say the basic ones, and we say the other one, the extended ones. There's nothing much difference. It's just the product team wanted to describe it this way. I don't know. I just get confused myself sometimes. Why two capabilities? But with basic things, you get the personal the data that are listed down here. This kind of data from the basic health capabilities, and you can upload this data from your site or download this data from the HealthKit. HealthKit is a data platform, so you can perform these operations using the data that's already in the health platform from any user. We can go through it. When you develop the application, you can choose what kind of capabilities you want to use, either the basic one or the extended one. With the basic capabilities, just the basic performance can be done, but with the extended, you can it provides you even wide range of data types to use for your application. And also in the extended data and extended health capabilities, you can work with HUAWEI Health app. That's an app in the mobile phone, in every HUAWEI phones, that keep track of your health data. So you can directly get the data from the platform. So it's even like more data that you get from the like basic health the basic health capabilities. And here I have listed out some of the data types that you get. And don't worry, I have uploaded this to the GitHub, and I will provide you the link to the GitHub, so you can find this presentation. You can look into the data types, what kind of data you want. Either you want to use the basic or extended health capabilities, you can decide on, and we can work on the project after that. The next one is the awareness kit. When you have the health data, it's fine, you are going to make an application, but to provide some kind of immersive experience to the user, you can use the awareness kit. What awareness kit does is it captures the conditions of the user. Whenever the user starts walking, it lets you to know, as a developer, it lets you know that, okay, the user has started walking. Then what do you want to do? Then you want to count the steps, or you want to provide him with some kind of musical track for him to walk. Or if the user starts running, then you provide him some musical tracks for running that's suitable for him. And it also gives you the location of the user, like where is the user running. And in the same time, it captures the conditions. Also, it puts a barrier. For example, you can put a barrier to the user, the location barrier. You can put the point of interest in your location, in your application, like for the gym station. When the person enters the gym station, enters this location barrier, then you can provide him some information that you would like to do as a developer for the user, what is beneficial, right? So you can do this kind of immersive experiences using the awareness kit. And these are some of the capabilities. Everything might not be interesting for you because it might not be related, but it's good to know. Like for the headset, is it connected or not? You get this kind of status. For behavior, is the user lying still? If he's staying lying still for 15 minutes, then just keep send him a notification that you are lying still. Just wake up and run. That we usually have it nowadays, but you can also create app using this functionalities. Walking, running, cycling, or driving. In the location, you get the fused location, and you can create a geofence out of it. And time of the day, what's the time of the day? A user is waking up in the morning. You just say it's time to work out or go for a walk or something. And is it a working day or a holiday? So you provide a message to the user, today is holiday, you work 1 more hour. So you spend your 1 more hour to the gym. So this kind of information is really helpful for the users to make application wanted by the users. That's what obviously everybody wants to do at the end. And about the weather also. So you can provide notifications to the user. Today is rainy, don't go out, set up the workout environment in the indoors, do activities, or provide them some kind of yoga instructions. Development process, as we already know from before, my colleagues explained the whole procedure. Here, what you do is you get a HUAWEI ID, or it's a development process for other time. This time we provide you the starter projects where all the permissions are given to you, and you can use those data. You can directly start writing the codes. You don't have to worry about getting the permissions or other things, but this is in the general form. Apply for a HUAWEI ID developer account, and for specifically for HealthKit, you have to apply for it. Developers don't get access to use this SDKs to get the data, so they have to apply for. Why aren't they using this kind of data? Is the app relevant to the health or for any other things? Because this kind of data are very important, and applications use this data for other things like advertisement or maybe track the user or something. So applications have to be very specific about the health categories. So that's necessary. And with all those things, you have to fill out and you have to apply for the health kit. When you get approval for the first time, you get a very limited approval for these data types. Only maybe 100 users. It's for the debugging purpose. Only 100 requests. You can just do the 100 requests, and then you can use it for debugging. And development. That's similar, like you develop an Android application and integrate SMS score. Like if anybody have a previous experience about the Android app development for using the Google services, then it's very similar. But on top of that, you need to use SMS score to use the SMS capabilities for HUAWEI HealthKit. Or you can use Devico Studio to develop Harmony OS applications. That's not really famous, but you can do that as well. And after that, you have to apply for the verification for the release. When you develop an application, then you have to again fill out with the screenshots and other informations like this is the application. I want the capability or permissions to release this kind of applications, the Huawei Health SDK's permissions. Then when you get that, then you submit the app, review, release. Yeah, this is just information here because whatever we are doing or whatever I talk about, the capabilities and everything depends on this kind of OS support and this kind of SDK versions. Right now, everything is usable, but later when everyone sees this presentation, they might not get confused because it's changing, right? There are lots of capabilities added and lots of data that's added. So for now, these are the versions that I've used. And these are the OS support or the DI device support that you can use these kits for. Most of them support Android. So any Android phones or no Android phones with Huawei or SMS Core will let you do the functionalities within this kits. Development platforms. Yeah, you can use Java or Kotlin for Android, or you can use React Native or all of the other things, but other platforms or cross platforms also. But the restriction here is that you can only use basic health capabilities with other cross platforms, but with Java and Kotlin, you can use the extended health capabilities also. And using the REST APIs, you can use the health data in web services. So it does not have to be only the mobile apps. You can use the data in your web pages also for your web development. And there are specific libraries for JavaScript that you can use to make Harmony OS applications. And for now, there is also limitations for Harmony OS because it's now new, so it does not have as many capabilities as like Android. So you can only use the basic health capabilities for Harmony OS. And practical use cases and sample codes. So if you have any questions till now, you can ask me. If not, I can move forward. Great. Yeah. As I said, this will be shared. Here are the links for the use cases, what kind of use cases you can develop. You can go there, check out the codes. You can use the codes, but don't try to just copy paste it. Just try, you can copy paste it in a way, but create a different use case. Don't just replicate the use case from here. It's not a good idea. So yeah, you can use the codes here. You can get the idea what kind of data you can get, how can you get it. So just go through it, just to get some give it some time and get an idea. And the sample codes I'm listing out here is getting the authorization from the user, about the data controller, activity records. This will still be here. You can see these sample codes also. As I said, you need to apply for the authorization from the user. Before starting any development using the health kit, you need to make sure the user is signed with Huawei ID, and he authorizes you to keep the data. If the user denies to give you a permission to use the data, then your application cannot get or cannot use the SDKs, or that will be failed when you try to get the data. So these are the sample codes. I don't think I will go one by one here. We can go in a session when you look into the codes. When you don't understand, you try to understand. If you don't, I can explain you the code at that time. So it's a data collector. Here you specify what kind of data you want, and then yeah, like as I said, there was some trumps basic concepts, right? So here it's explained in more detail. This is the data collector where you define data collector. You specify what kind of data you want to upload. So when you specify, you create a sample set, like the container for the sample points, and then this is the container. And then in the next slide, here is the sample point where you will provide what kind of data are you uploading at the specific time. So in the previous slide, you mentioned time, from what time to what time you want to upload the data. So this is the time. This is the sample point you make out of all the information you want, and you add this sample point to the data collector, and you insert using the data controller. You insert sample set to the Huawei Health kit or Huawei Health. Yeah. And this is asynchronous kind of method. So you have this on-call success or on-call failure methods to check if the data is inserted correctly or not. Yeah, this is the data controller for reading the data. That was for writing. This is for reading. Same procedure. Create a read options. What kind of data you want to read from the HUAWEI Health Kit, and then it's again asynchronous. So you will check on the callback methods on success or on failure if it's a success or a failure. Activity record. It's the similar again. Don't worry, I'll guide you through it while you do the coding. Just ask for help when you did it. And subscribing health data. Also in HUAWEI Health Kit, you can also subscribe for the health data from the user. So for example, whenever the user reaches 10,000, like you subscribe for the 10,000 steps in your code, whenever user reaches 10,000 steps, then you will be notified in a method, and you can perform the action what you want to do after that. So you can perform your action on result. This is for awareness kit. You get awareness what the user is doing currently. Is it sitting or walking or running, or what kind of activities is it doing? So here again, some guidelines from our HUAWEI Health Kit. There are some code labs also. You can go and check out for developing the applications. And this is it. And I don't know, I missed one of the slide here. That was the limitations of our wearables. So if you want to develop the watch application, that's what might come into your mind, thinking of the health. There, it's not capable like mobile phones, because it is now, the ecosystem is now growing. So right now it's in the basic stage. It has some limitations. You can perform something like you can get some of the data using the sensors from the watches also. I will also add that information in the slide. It's not that much data you will get. You can think of use kind of doing the app, but there are limitations, so please be aware of that. Yeah, that's it. So any questions, please ask. And that's my email ID from HUAWEI. You can email me anytime and ask any questions. It's not only about HUAWEI Health or awareness or kit. You can talk to me about any other SDKs and APIs or any other Android application development you'd like to learn about. Thank you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You want to be there?
Yes.
Okay. Let me switch this for you. Can you try it?
Yeah.
You can go back.
Yeah. Okay, hi everyone from my side as well. I'm Katarina, and I hope you have had an inspiring day so far. First, I would like to know who is for the first time in Hackathon. If you can raise your hand. Quite many. Okay, what has been the most memorable thing so far today? You can, if you are brave enough, to shout there or raise your hand to say what has struck your mind the most so far.
Topic.
Sorry?
I think it's the topic that we work remotely. Like
Okay.
Because during the pandemic, thanks for the remote work, I gained 32 grams during the whole pandemic. So I think I would appreciate if any group in this event could come up with a solution to help me lose some weight with your help.
We do our best for that, and that's probably for every one of us. We have experienced the COVID situation differently, and with the negative aspects as well. But hopefully we get many exciting and useful solutions during this weekend. And yeah, so I'm Katarina. I'm from HUAWEI's Consumer Cloud Services, actually from our Finland office. So I flew from Finland early this morning to meet you all here in Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm so excited to be here. I wouldn't miss this for sure. And what I'm doing here, I can help you with your teamwork in practical level. So I have a business background, and I have organized many hackathons and also inside the corporations, acceleration programs for the employees themselves. So I have an innovation management background, and I hope that I can help you in ideation and business model stages. And as I'm from the cloud services, I'm also delivering straight from Finland small greeting from you. So the topic is mobile cloud that I'm happy to share with you today. And HUAWEI has developed and designed mobile cloud targeted for HUAWEI device users to ensure seamless experience across HUAWEI ecosystem. And it has been available since 2017 in our European markets. And one of the main aspects of mobile cloud, and why we are very proud of it, is actually the fact that mobile cloud data is stored only inside EU in European server centers and according to EU's cybersecurity and GDPR laws. So that's one of our many aspects why we are proud of our services and happy to promote them across the globe. And the key features that you can see here, so we want to touch upon briefly about what is the mobile cloud in a nutshell. So the elements of it is firstly data security, data backup and restoration, and cross-device data synchronization, and also fourth aspect is the one-click device search feature there. And at the moment we have about 250 million monthly active users. And what we mean by it covering the whole ecosystem is the cloud backup of all these features of the HUAWEI mobile environment. So for you, we hope that this is useful, that you can take in use, whether it touch upon your hackathon work or also is surely beneficial in your personal life and use as well. So for example, what it means in practice, this data backup, that you can yourself choose manually which things you want to back up. So for example, as there is this voice recording feature, if you don't want to save your voice recordings necessarily to the cloud, you can list it out from the data backup features. And another example is that you can synchronize your gallery, photo gallery data automatically. So basically, this is HUAWEI's version of the Apple's iCloud. So it works very similarly in that case. And how to take that in use? My colleague Mustafa already advised you about the HUAWEI ID. So it all starts in a similar way. So you have to first have the HUAWEI ID in use. And after you have the HUAWEI ID activated, you can access the cloud from any device using the HUAWEI ID. But what comes to the mobile cloud users, we want to highlight that the mobile cloud has the storage of 5 GB of free space. But for the mobile cloud users, we have offer to share So if any of you have Huawei phones with you, you can already scan this code by using the Huawei browser, and you can collect this offer for you. So basically, you get the free 1 month trial of bigger storage of your cloud. So the 5 gigabytes is the normal one. And then if you feel like, for example, during this hackathon, more space is needed, then this is a great time to start using the bigger package and see if that works for you. You can then continue or then cancel your subscription. So that's possible as well. But that's my quick greetings from Finland and from Mobile Cloud team. And I'm happy to help you in your work during this hackathon. Thank you.
I will keep this code if someone would like to try,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Now we have
Yeah, there's a GitHub that you can go into. We have created 3 starter projects for you. You can directly start into. You can clone it, download it, start it. If you have Android Studio, you can use it. Or if you don't have it, you will install it during this time. And today you can focus on creating the environment if you're going to do that. Or if your proposal is different, you're trying to create a presentation with your ideas, not developing them, that's up to you. But I think our colleagues will explain what are the categories that we need to make this hackathon. So the link or the QR code will be given at the end, so you can go there and start code or set up the environment. Thank you.
So this is probably the last presentation you're going to think through today. Okay, so I am Ray, or you can call me Ray. I'm the HUAWEI Student Ambassador of KTH. So today I'll give a really brief introduction about the business analysis. Frankly speaking, I am not the business student, but I have a little bit knowledge about this because I've taken a course. But so how many of you guys have the relevant knowledge on business analysis or anything? Please raise your hand. Yeah, good. Okay, so the rest of the presentation is not for you guys. Okay, so let's start. So as you can see from this poster, we have this Sweden startup hackathon. So this event is not similar as the traditional pure technology hackathon. This is more about how to sell your ideas and how to make others believe your product is useful, competitive, trustworthy, cost effective, and the goal is to make as much money as you can with your product. So this is a checklist that you will be given this evening. So this is a basic guidance of what you are going to do about this business part of the hackathon. You can see here there are 5 parts: market analysis, technical novelty, business model, product design, and product implementation. So I will go through all of them one by one real quick to give you a basic understanding of what you are going to do if you are the business guy in your group. To note that this is not a necessary to complete your project. You can just skip this one, or you can have more professional analysis and things to add in your final presentation. So first one, as you can see here, market analysis. So this is the first activity you are going to do. That is to analyze your market. A good way to do this is this guideline can give you a flow of thinking that the first thing is you need to find out a gap in the market. So what is the gap? Is, for example, we have this guy, or there's a coronavirus, and it just outbreak 3 years ago, and then we have gaps for masks, right, or PPE, you can call it, and COVID vaccine. So then you, from then on, we can see that we have lots of masks in our daily life, which wasn't the case before. And also we have vaccines. We have lots of types of vaccines just appear because of this guy. So there are opportunities. And some companies has made a good amount of money because of that guy. And so you are also going to find the gap, which is our theme, is working from anywhere. And you need to find opportunities. And that is the opportunity. The market analysis, the first part of market analysis. So the second step is you need to analyze the current market and collect your statistics. For example, imagine you are a company that you are going to use this gap now. So you are going to invent a new type of mask, or you are going to create a new type of vaccine. What I'm going to do is to invest all the masks you have in the market right now, and you need to collect the statistics of them, the effectiveness, the price, or the cost. And also you can see here the vaccine, they have huge amount of different type of vaccines with different type doses of storage and other statistics you all need to know. Then you need to do a market segmentation, and so here is a illustration of the market segmentation. We can do this by geographic, demographic, size, psychographic, and behavioral. So anyway, this market segmentation, the goal of this is to find a targeting customers, so who will buy your product, and you can classify them in different groups, and you can even make change of your product so that it can directly sell to one of your classes. Yeah, and stakeholder analysis, this is a very important step. So the stakeholder, what is stakeholder? Stakeholder is the entity or company or even individuals that will impact your product positively or negatively. So for example, we have this, if we have this vaccine there, your stakeholder is the government, of course, the CDC, right? And also your the hospital, the clinic, they are all your stakeholders. You need to determine whether you should keep them satisfied or just informed, or you just need to manage them closely, because if you don't, they might just make your product failure. So second part is the technical novelty. This one is very easy. That so you have a newly you have invented a new type of vaccine that you said that it is typically for Omicron variant, and you need to provide convincing statement that your product can fulfill this gap, right? So either it would be clinical trial results of 90% of effectiveness or whatever, but you need to give this statements and to show your edge, show the edge of your product. And also another important thing is to think or anticipate your product life cycle. So coronavirus is not going to keep or maintain here forever. It will elapse one day, I hope, because you see here we have different variants come and go. So if you decide to make a vaccine that is typically for Omicron variant, it won't like growth or be very good in selling forever, because one day it will disappear or even replaced by other variants. So you need to have this anticipate of your product. So like you see here, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Yeah, that's very easy. And the third part is the very interesting, or the most important part is the business model. This is the key or the final goal of your business analysis. That so first step, business strategy. This is a very big and complex or very flexible topic. You have lots of different strategies for your product, and that is typically most of the time the secret of success. But there is something you should consider. That is your business objectives, the core values of your company or product, the SWOT analysis, that is your strength of your product, weakness of your product, the opportunities that you used, your product used, and the threats to your product. And also we need to think about the tactics of selling or running your business, and the resource allocation, how you allocate your human resource, time, budget, etc. And also the management of how successful your product is. So the second substep is the profitable price and plan. You need to come up with the price of a product. It cannot be too expensive because otherwise no one will buy it, and it cannot be too cheap because you need to make money, right? So the last one is logistic management. So logistic management is, you can see here, is the path of from the raw material supply way to the end user. That is the end-to-end path of your product. You need to think about this. You need to know that this path will work. You need to think about all the steps in between. Okay, so in case you don't know what to do, here is a business model canvas that is widely used, and yeah, those will be provided. And you can see from each part, key partners, key activities, key resources, value proposition, customer relationship, channels, customer segments, cost structure, and revenue streams. It's all about what we have just discussed, introduced about the business analysis. So, sorry about that. We're done with business, so we are going to design our product. The product is not only about one thing that we're going to design, but it's also about how you are going to invent, manufacture, create your product. You need this product roadmap. Also, you need to think about your generations of product. Like you see here, this is the iPhone. I know I should find some pictures about Huawei, but I just this is just some type of phone. Just know that there is a generation, that each generation has some newly featured that is involved in their product. So this is all well thought. Not all of them are well thought, but at least several steps need to be thought. So this is called the product roadmap. You need to think about like different orders, do what things, check the money, build product, test the product, ship the product, and sell it. And also, as I just mentioned, this generations, you need to have a innovations in each design cycle. That typically we have this design cycles, right? You developing ideas, and you create the solutions to build a prototype, and you just sell it or you just test it. You have an evaluation of your product, like what's the weaknesses or what's the strengths, what you need to make, what change you need to make of this product, and your analysis, and you develop a new generation of the product. So this is called the design cycles. And yeah, you need to think about innovations in each design cycle. Also, you need a KPI, the key performance indicators, to show which part of the product performs good or performs bad. You need to change. And yeah, you need to also think about how to collect feedbacks from customers, because customers are all about, right? You need to know what kind of change they want to make in this step, right? So that you can build better products. Yes, does that all make sense? Yeah, it's very easy. So the final one is the product implementation. That is to build a prototype. And how you are going to show that is to build a demo video. Yeah, and also it's better to list the technologies or international standards involved in your product. So in this case, it's HMS Core, if you use that. Yeah, thank you for listening. And any questions about this one? This is really easy. Yeah, I hope this is the easiest and most understandable presentation you have heard today. I have listed all the references, all the useful links that you will think or you will be used during this hackathon. Yeah, and good luck and have fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
We don't have to present things.
Yeah, we don't have to be it's much
Freestyle,
easier. It's much easier.
I like it, freestyle.
Yeah, it's pretty freestyle. Thanks for our participation first. My name is Ray, and I'm a HUAWEI Student Investor in Uppsala University. Without you, we can't bring this project to today because we need a lot of participations and more ideas from you guys. As Kara said at the very beginning, this is not about you have to develop a very professional prototype. The things we need from you guys are the ideas. We want to see that you are using your potentials to come up with more solutions to solve the challenges today. So where's the ideas from? It could be constructed from on your knowledge and your personal experiences, but I would say it's more from the communications with different people. And also, as Jen said at the beginning, the people around you today could be your future networks. So don't just treat today as the technical communication, but also social communication with different people and know each other probably in the future, not just in this event, in the future, tomorrow or in a couple of years. People around you today could be someone who is your partner or a business partners tomorrow. So from now, I would really love to hear the voice from you. So I want you guys to present you briefly, like give some introduction about yourself, about your background, and about what you are studying at the moment, and do you have any ideas about this event? So we could start from someone now.
Okay, and just to change the background because I would like to take something.
Okay.
Okay, so you can introduce them so we will be more familiar with you guys.
Yeah, so I hope you guys can step out your comfort zone. So I will start from here to have a brief introduction. Whatever you want to say, just be free. Yeah, would you like to give us some introduction?
Hi everyone, my name is